cybersecurity at the very serious level. First of all, you need to have the right mindset. The right mindset means to understand that cybersecurity is a journey. So we start somewhere, only the ideal, and gradually we move towards what's the best practice. So for us, the human factor, we tackle it right from the beginning. Yeah? So when an employee comes, they are shared that we have each company someone, the IT guy who is basically the champion. So he will share the do's and don'ts with the new joiner. So this is the first step. From there, the new joiner is requested to sign off what we call our end user security manual. So this gives us comfort that the user, the employee, are able to go through that that process of with understanding the do's and don'ts. But I must be sincere here that there are technical terms in order to try to put it in layman's terms, and most of them, when we request for feedback, say that like all the software agreements that you put on your mobile app or laptop, you just go to the last page and just say agree. So for us, from a community perspective, it's good that they have signed, but in practice, as he or she understands what has been signed, what commitment has been engaged, so we have it action. So what we did from there, we said, okay, we need to address this gap. We started to do monthly poster, circulate by mail, but we don't have really a feedback whether people are reading the posters, some even read it and take it back home. The test is very interesting. It's a quarter page. Some, when I asked, they don't even know how to read it. If they see cybersecurity, just they have a rule that goes to the separate folder. Here as well, we have moved on to the next level, but still we are in our, as I said, our roadmap, our journey. From there, we had to work with HR because at the result, all the employees have a co-reduction where the values of the group, the culture. So we say that, so it's important that we have a talk time. So we have been able to intervene at that level. It's a full day induction program where I have 15 minutes to talk with the developers, show them videos, then they start realizing when they see things in front of them, it's more, they more. Then from there, I take this opportunity seriously to inject like the security culture that we want to them. So what's our way of doing things for security and explaining them if ever you're trying to for example, go on your website and say it's blocked, look like because we wanted to block you because there's a risk behind it. Why we have blocked your university drive because there's a risk. So this is done. From there, something which is also important because all what I have explained must not work without accounting, giving the responsibility to someone. You might have top management support, the proper budget, do things, you have calendar or training, but then if you don't have someone heading the project, making sure that things are happening, giving back feedback to the appropriate committees, you don't have the proper visibility. So at the project, we have a very nice governance structure. I won't go into here, but we give regular feedback to our committees, what's happening, and then after maybe like 2 years have lapsed, we have engaged, we invested in a tool, a cybersecurity tool for e-learning, which gives us another level of maturity. So to recap, we started with read and sign, read and approve, posters, then we invested in that tool. So the tool gives us the possibility to do training campaigns, e-learning, which is interactive. So, and then you have feedbacks Other people are reading, doing the e-learnings, but then on the practical side, you have to balance in terms of you can't give people like every month training. So to compare to the actual needs that you have to do cybersecurity and have to do work. So you need to have a proper balance. Then after the training, the tool gives us a possibility to test them. So we train our people, we do phishing campaigns, local campaigns as well, technical campaigns, to give us a comfort that, okay, whatever people have gone through the training modules, when we test them, there is a nice correlation that the phishing rate, for example, is decreasing. So we have seen that, we are happy about it. Still, there are people that don't go training, and there exist people that click on the phishing link. So this is a pain point that we are trying to address. So from there, I think what's important for us to give alerts whenever they arise. We also subscribe with threat intelligence, certainly for Mauritius and other international threat intelligence societies. So whenever, for example, there is international alert, so we are informed, and then we do a filter. For example, if it is something very technical, we share our need to our technical team, if it impacts users, so we just broadcast and we want to everyone to make sure that okay, they are aware that something is happening around them, and we do advise them not to click on links if available. To conclude, I would say that cybersecurity is a journey. We need to have a lot of dedication and passion to take through it, and with the management support, it's something that it is achievable. We have done it, we have a plan, and we are happy. We're moving slowly, but sure. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much for that overview. I cannot resist asking questions. So it's all about education and sensitization, isn't it? And would you think that, in your experience, do you feel that it's something to do, because you mentioned, for example, there's phishing links being sent, but yet some people will still click on it. I'm one of them. That maybe I wouldn't click on it, but I would be tempted, especially if I see it's a DHL delivery, or actually a courier delivery. So have you seen whether it's a generational issue, whether it's people of my sort of generation doing it the most, or is it general? It's curiosity, it's human nature.
I think it's not about the generation, it's not about it's about how sexy the email is. And others will use the technique of the social engineering. So, if, for example, you like to do some specific sports, for example, swimming, to do whatever they have to do to identify your profile and then send it to you. This is one technique. Another technique, for example, the World Cup is near, so you might have SMS that the free tickets to Qatar might be sent there.
Thank you so much. You just remind me of things like I have conversations with my husband and with my kids, and suddenly on social media I see offers around the things we discussed. And yeah, there's ways, but we will maybe take that up a bit later during our panel discussion. Yeah, so over to Benita. Benita, you are a registered telecoms engineer, got more than 10 years experience in the field. You lecture in the field as well, and you're here to talk to us about the link between HR management, telecommunications, and cybersecurity.
Yes.
Would you like to?
Yeah. Great. I stand up.
Sure.
Let's stand here. Otherwise I'm cold. So, hello everyone. Last week I was invited to my birthplace for Café. Okay, after a while, he came to me a bit disturbed, and he said, here's my laptop, and then this is the diary. I said, okay, what's happening? He said, open it. Open the diary, and there was a password. He said, Benita, this is my password. I'm at my workplace. I've been using it for more than 10 years, and you want me to change it because of some IT audit, but Ashish implemented. Okay? And say, okay, not an issue. So the password was to be 1234. Okay? And I said, okay, I'll change it for you. And then he said, wait, you have to change my account. Okay, no worries, wait it up. My Facebook account, my Google account, as well as my juice, because the 400 is all my juice. And you know what's funny? The S123 is his co-plate number. I'm sure we can all relate to someone who, right, just wants to change password. And what was funny is that he wanted to check everywhere with the same password. This was the security for him. Okay? I'm here to talk about humans and cybersecurity. So, yeah. First, I think when we talk about cybersecurity, it's about awareness. Okay? The main process is about the training, right? We have to train people, we test people, we do some simulation, we find some gap, and then we implement again. Okay? And we usually forget about that we live in a society that is dependent on science and technology. And everyone, starting from that teenager using TikTok, to my uncle, and then to us everywhere, we believe that we are interconnected, we are safe. Oh, okay? So the first thing that we usually do is that this is the awareness program, to make everyone aware of what kind of disasters will happen if you X, Y, Z. And then after the program, you become knowledgeable, resourceful, right? You know what you can expect. However, it's part of the intention. So, last year, a company of 400 employees did a survey on their employees. And out of the survey, came that 80% of those employees that had the benefits of cybersecurity voluntarily said that, okay, I can reach some of them just because they believe in their security. Okay? It might be as simple as, I have a word of threat that contains some figures, and instead of putting a password and sending it by mail, where there will be an ET scan, he said, no, I need to send it ASAP, so I'll open my Teams and send it as it is. Just because a person thinks that it is correctly for you to be much faster. Okay? And the intention is that we often forget that after having educated everyone, okay, we have said that, this is what is called phishing, hacking, okay, and then have to be aware of. When we are knowledgeable, yes. But do we have the intention? Are we willing? Do we want to change something? This is the question. Because all of the stuff, some of them are computer literate, so they understand, right? But we all do have those established of 10, 15, 20 years, right? Are we willingly, do we have the intention to change? So about the intention is divided into two. It's very simple. The intention is towards the company, first of all, and then towards the employees. Why the company? Just imagine the generation Z coming for an interview, and then you're going to employ them. HR will be the first port of contact, we have a job description, we start doing the job, right? After some time, there's actually some work saying we have changed back this X, Y, Z. Do you think that those generations are they willing to change immediately? If all of it are coming back, HR people, they're resistant. So there have many surveys that find that the first approach, the first to do towards the HR people, we have to be made aware. Not necessarily technical terms, okay? But as leaders, we have to know what are the protocols, and when this is the first contact, we have to explain inculcate that I think what we want to do. Okay? It's for those people that are 10, 15, 20 years with us. We have to know our audience, what they value. They also will know how to proceed with. You have to show them instead of saying examples, facts. So that what comes to behavior. The main goal of cybersecurity is that all our staff are knowledgeable, with the right intention, and with an ultimate impact on the behavior. How to change, right? So there are some facts. In 2020, the first wave of COVID came in, and there were some scammers of COVID-19. Remember, so many scammers. And then what happened in this year, in May 2022, the same scammers came in. And what now? They were advertising about Ukrainian entities asking for donation. So cyber criminals have become very, very intelligent in manipulating people. They use empathy, curiosity, impulsiveness. This is how they are going. Okay? So they will stop at nothing. This is why continuity is very important. Hereafter, after having done all of these, our staff, we need to know how to value them. How do we go with their value? We have to have feedbacks, right? We ask them, are you okay? Right? There are managers, team leaders, there are people who ask them, is there an issue? Do you have any difficulties? Is it time consuming? So these are the constructive feedback that we need to have. And then afterwards, there's recognition. Right? The favorite word about show, I guess. You have the gamification, recently, cybersecurity took a different turn, especially for training of people. There have been a few training which doesn't involve laptops. But just like a team building, but it can be, resource world. That's one of the gamifications about. And then, in fact, process that involves us, guys, your people, and then doing activities with the subject. If the subject is security, so you have to give them certain tools, and they have to be motivated to construct something. I've done some test cases with my employees, which we're going to see. Yeah. This is the laptop in front. I've seen so many people, even in business lounges, hey, the person is working, and then, hi, how are you? And there's so many people just next to them. So, can we leave our laptop unattended? After the office, funny. So we have web invitation, as you can see. The first one is dated June 22, and the guys were at the back, so we are coming to 6 places with the bus. The second mail is that because the laptop was left unattended, she sent a wedding invitation. Of course, that wasn't her. So to be able to sensitize those people, because they're already aware, right? They already know, we came with document hunt. So this is a key person who has won something or a tender maybe, right? He's very confident, has sensitive information. However, he has to keep it for himself. So he hides it. Going to place. Yeah, you see, he's very confident. Afterwards, comes a beautiful hacker. So she's trying to search, and very easy dogs for her. Yeah, she got it, right? Yeah. So this is how you get this information. This is the difference. We use the same approach now because the person how he felt. He felt like he lost, right? Lost something. Whatever he was valuing, he's lost now. And we did differently now. Sage, can you just simple? Oh yeah, okay, great, thank you. Now, he has left this lesson, so the same document is going to be still safe, secure. And then it's followed by, of course, a secure password. There comes the hacker again. shooting was, you see, how she's wise, you should say, no, no, this will be very easy. I'm going to try 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that is not funny. So this is a different sense. It's funny. It's funny also. But what is the outcome of it? After having done that, of course, we have called our employees and said, how you felt? The guy that first, the business development was first, how he felt? He said, for me, I felt destroyed. Okay? After that, he saw that the notification the hacker was coming. So, you know, I'm very proud that I secured my document. So simply keep that away after. And then the one that is very common nowadays is gamification, right? Here we did we gave them some paper clips, we were on a table, and said that the field is security. Use your imagination as a team and build something that's secure. Okay? So what they did, they built towers, because we're in the telecommunications sector, we have towers, have antennas, so they built it. And each one of them explained to me, how secure is it? Okay, so we always say that people are the weakest link. And also, people are our assets, right? So with this individualized training, I truly believe that we can stop any detectors. Thank you.
Benita, quite eye-opening, but please allow me to comment that you've just made me realize that us HR people, we've got one more task on our long list of duties now. It's cybersecurity and just ensuring that onboarding employees, they're aware of that, isn't it? And
Yes.
so we need to be equipped if we need to equip our teams, isn't it?
And I think it would best people to be equipped and trained.
Yeah. Thank you for buttering us up on that one. Yes. Okay, so quite an eye-opener. Let's now move on to our main speaker for today, Ashish Subag. You are the head of cybersecurity advisory at Rogers Capital. Lots of experience, I think more than 15 years. And you're here to elaborate on this weakest link. And let's hope that once you're done, we become the strongest link, please.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll move down because I feel like I can hear and I don't want to listen to those shots. One case is up. So thank you, Adila, thank you, Tanisha, for this HR Café and the opportunity to speak for this event. My expose, rather, I don't have a presentation as such. My expose is more on cyber defense, a little bit on cyber defense, common risk exposures that we detect and find in organizations. And also, I have small cases study for you guys, released for some provocative things. So, it's more an expose and a discussion with you. We'll have the mic with you to share when you are ready to discuss with me. So, I just say I have 15 years of experience. That's 15 plus years of experience as a service provider. So, whatever I'm exposing today is coming from the service provider's perspective. I don't use the word expert too much because I also make mistakes, so I'm not from being an expert, but it's from a consultant's perspective. And today I had a business line, so I've been doing this for the last 3 to 4 years, and I've spent the last couple of years presenting cyber risk reports, remediation roadmaps to board of directors, top management, analyzing risks, assisting organizations in prioritizing investment in cybersecurity. And although I have a strong technical background, I speak less of those technical terms today. I've been made aware that the audience today is made up of people
to work along with people who are working with all those people. People from human resources background. And I think that's an excellent opportunity to expose you what I think and also to have your perspective of things when it's coming about people. So cybersecurity, the term itself, is related to technicalities, right? So when people hear, I may be speaking about cybersecurity, they think that it's coming about a technical speech about technicalities. So I'm keeping that away from today, taking it aside rather, and we are going to speak about the human factor in cybersecurity. Okay? And then you will see that it has a lot of importance. Rather, the most important part is the human part. Right? So, for me, at least, machines cannot replace people. Right? So, we cannot imagine a world without people. Life creates technology. It's not that technology creates life. Okay? If there are any CEOs or any people who take decisions about people here, I'm just putting some making it more putting emphasis on it for you. So this is the way it is. So having said that, information and technology, they remain the oxygen of this world. Right? You cannot, at least not now, imagine a world without technology and information. If you look at the various aspects of our life, right? This is a larger presenting to go on the side, I will say this is good. So the various aspects of our life, you will see when we go to a cafe to order coffee, they have started taking orders on iPad, on tablets. We go to the hospital, our records are being digitalized, at least for the private hospitals, and it constructs a lot of things. Doctors, they have digital X-ray. Surgery is being done using robotic arms. So all these are.
I think it's okay.
I want to today to start running away. I love mics. Me and mics, it's a long program. So, just to tell you that technology is taught in all aspects of our life, right? So, we cannot imagine our life without technology. Having said that, the goal today is information, value. If you look at your bank accounts, how the money is stored. I hope you don't think that the bank has printed coins and notes and storing your money. That is only for this data transactions that is circulate in the ecosystem. But what are these stories? Information. Our money is in digital format. Some server hasn't noticed, so I don't know where it is. Okay? So the value of information, unfortunately, has something that we call a hack value. Okay? The people who steal, the company steal clothes, or cylinders, or cars, they're stupid people, stupid peddlers, don't worry about them. The intelligent ones are the ones who are working online. They have set up servers and systems to hack into banking systems, medical reports, to steal the identity of people. And this is from where they are making maximum money. They are generating ransomware, they are using concepts that target people called social engineering. This is where they have maximum gain. And these are the intelligent things. Okay, so information has a hack value. When they hack it, they will get financial benefit from it. So 20 years, 30 years back, at least from 1980s, that era, hackers used to be hacking systems for personal recognition around the world. Get caught by the FBI, handcuffed to the hand, and TV, live on TV, and all that. So this era has gone. It's gone, this era. Now hackers are looking for financial gain. They want to become rich. And the gain is found in the data. cybersecurity is what? Cybersecurity is not life science that aims at protecting those data. But if you take machines alone, those machines cannot protect the data. Those machines have to be installed, have to be configured, and who does all that? People. People doing all that. Without the people, it won't be shipped from US to Mauritius, installed in the server room, and then start working. It has to be configured, has to be shipped, has to be purchased, and all that. So all the corruption, the governance, the risk management, the compliance, all this is done by people. Now I want to focus on the confident info, what people are doing. So we value people, right? We value people, and we don't deviate from that. We have to value people. This is people are the drivers of innovation, and at the same time, people are also the weakest link. So we have been doing security assessments. I have been cybersecurity lab. I have a cybersecurity audit manager. I have also a cybersecurity analyst who have the daily task of doing security assessments for companies in Mauritius and some countries abroad in Africa. And that's our reviewing business. So what we have been seeing from our experience, the whole 24 years, 5 years, there are a lot of issues. And these issues, unfortunately, are caused by human, by people. One common risk exposure we have found, right? Anybody knows what is a firewall here? Anybody knows? Just raise your hand if you know. I'm glad you know. At least you will understand what I'm saying and what I'm talking about.
I think I know. Is that an answer? I think I know.
You also know.
I think I know.
Yes, it should be that firewall. Yeah, it should be that firewall itself.
Okay.
There are not too many kinds of firewall, but a firewall is today, it's a baseline security device. You need to have it. Okay? If you don't have it, the consequences can be overwhelming. Okay? Just like antivirus. We have not this for it. Many companies are compliant. They have a baseline security. Data of high value. They rely completely, their operations rely completely on data information. Some companies, the IT guy, actually is smiling. Actually, my colleague, ex-colleague, he is an IT manager somewhere, so he's smiling. So you will understand. People haven't put a firewall on the device of their company. They have taken the decision that this is not important. So I'm talking about decisions people are taking in cybersecurity. They have prioritized investment in other things, and they have taken the decision that this is not needed. Because the same way I go home with my laptop, I don't have any firewall, so why would I need it in my company? This is one example. The second example, a firewall, depends on its size, can cost between 150,000 rupees, and some firewalls, when they come in redundancies, they can cost 1 million, 1.5 million, 3 million rupees. It depends on which technology, how they are configured, what level of redundancy. The client has, as per one of our audits and observations, they had a firewall around an investment of 500,000 rupees. The CEO approved and they have implemented it. The firewall was there doing cyber defense, protecting the organization. When we open the firewall to check the parameters, there is something called policy in the firewall. You say, block everything that is not normal coming from outside, that is not needed. This should be present in all firewalls. There was nothing as such in the firewall. What was configured? Well, everything coming from anywhere. Everybody, the hacker, you also, Holders Capital, you can convince. I'm very happy with it. Come. Pay to the network as much as you want. An investment of 500,000 rupees. And that decision was taken by some IT people deciding that we wanted the life easy to open unlimited. We have an unlimited list of risks that have been taken by people. Now, if you want to ask me what are the causes amongst these causes, one is the lack of appropriate training. Okay? I'm not justifying the reason why this has been like this, but it's not one place we have seen, many places. And then there are other omissions of baseline security, antivirus software not installed on the server, which is the database server of an organization, having retail operations at national level operations. Okay? When we also say, I forgot. Forgot? It's not nobody forgets anything by mistake. Some people they look at their convenience. So these are the kind of decisions we see people are taking, and these are factors that cause vulnerabilities in systems and create opportunities for third parties, malicious third parties, to compromise the security of data and organizations, including institutions in the banking sector and financial sector. This is an example of decisions taken by people. I have a list of 30, I cannot go through all of them, but these are the key ones. So you can extrapolate between the value of investment signed approved by board of directors, right? And then decisions taken by people to bypass those security measures. Now the second part, I have a mic. Yeah, I have a particular mic. So switch off. I'll got something to do when you'll have to make comments and discuss with me. I have a case study. I did 15 minutes for that case study. We're speaking about people, and if you want to speak, I'll actually give you the mic. I wish to have an interruption. Okay? I have a case study. The company in the case has been anonymized. You want to recognize the company, not found closures. So the consultant has prepared an organization with valuable data. Very important organization. Prepared an organization to be certified by a international security standard. Okay? So it's something complex. So they have worked with a consultant. And they've been able to achieve a level of maturity. So when you certify, it's an external body which issues the certificate to that company. Right? That standard is called ISO 27001. For some people who make conversation with that standard, it's an international standard for information security. So I happen to be part of that. So we have the internal consultant, we have top management, second party, and then we have a management committee within our organization, and then we have an external auditor, which came. External auditor came from Asia. Said, hi, hello, I've come to certify you. And then the first thing when you get an external auditor coming, what do? You get a conversation to the person. Offer coffee, tea, lunch, very good, very happy. And then we will try to start getting very familiar. How are you? Okay, you have prepared water there? Yes. I got to meeting you in I said, okay, very good. That also was nice. And then the auditor, external auditor, started auditing the company. They have to audit the IT team first. At least auditing the IT team was the most essential part of that plan. So something very weird started happening. First, they wanted to audit the HR manager. Okay. Then before that, they insulted the consultant that accompanied the organization, the client, in implementing that standard. They said you are incompetent. They said, okay, maybe he's from a different background, he couldn't master the words he was using. They said, okay, still okay. But then started persecuting the HR manager. See? Very strange. One external auditor, which has been paid for some $500 to certify all this He ignored all that. He went to Jordan Complex for say, where he took pictures and sent to everybody in the community, showing where he was. What is wrong with, well, in your opinion, what's wrong, what's going on with that? We are still in cybersecurity. It's how people are doing, what people are doing. What's your opinion? Anybody who would like to share, what do you think is going wrong here?
Microphone here.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Maybe they wanted the right person to do the auditing and they don't have the right skills to do, especially for the IT team.
The IT team was a very versatile IT team. I'm just adding to your comments to enlighten you a bit more. That auditor was the auditor who came. His or her company was a company regulated under UCAS. UCAS means it's a regulatory body in UK which regulates certification in cybersecurity. So he was a very high profile auditor. We have no doubt on his background and his profile. But still it wasn't UCAS. Any idea what was going on? Any other ideas? But certainly they were qualified, they were active. But something was wrong. More information. Yeah.
Let's say indirect
This is one of the tactics used by auditors, in fact, to get familiar with you at some point in time, to get information when you are at your most at ease, like you with patients. So in the initial phase, you can get extrapolate information. So when you put them on the couch, I don't know how we call it, they will be stressed and they won't reveal anything. So any other question? Please? Yes. With pleasure.
It was not any important issue to audition. That's why for the auditor.
Okay. That can also be a valid point. Maybe.
Je pense que le résultat est serré pour envoyer des photos à tout le monde. Et c'est notre stade pour voir si à quel point ils vont répondre facilement.
That happened after he left. He completed his work. He was spending leisure time after. Okay, difficult. Any other person, please?
When he spoke with the other departments apart from IT, like HR, he got a clue of what kind of measures for the newcomers or even for the existing employees have been put in place, and the fact that he sent a picture from News Garden and everyone received it was also maybe one of the point which was maybe a loophole in their system.
Okay. I won't give the answer right now. I want some further discussion. I want to start from you. Anybody in the HR department? Yes, please.
So maybe he just wanted to show that anyone can share any information, can send any link as well. And those information, those pictures, those links might be embarrassed as well.
Don't you think it's abnormal when you come to a company, you don't ask any valid questions at all? Does it seem dodgy? There's a dodginess in whatever happens.
Ashish, can I give it a try?
Yes,
Can I give it a
please.
try?
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
Maybe, oh, thank you. Maybe it's because the information was not in the question and answer that he was asking, because, like you said, we shouldn't worry about those stealing cars and tires and all of that. They're visible to us. They're not the most lethal ones. Maybe because this auditor was a professional hacker at the same time, so while asking questions, he was busy getting into the system.
Let's not forget, at the end of his exercise, he had to certify that company to be a secure company. He didn't have access to any data, and this is also possible. I'm not giving the answer now. Now 15 minutes, I want to collect maximum from the audience, but this is a possibility. Anybody in a strategy, chief people officer, present here?
He was trying to hack on their phones through the photos, so that he can collect information via their telephones.
Okay. No, he didn't have an actor profile. But his photo was nice when he went to Pakistan. The face was the name well. I have nicknamed his, he's a Makonde. Yes.
I think his work has.
Oh yes.
I think his work has started well before he entered the company by trying to look for information, either public information or getting into contact with those working within the organization, so that he already have some information and know where he needs to go and to dig further if needed. So this is where he spent little time within the organization, and if he was harassing the HR manager, maybe that's a pain point. Persecuting, maybe that's the weakest link he found.
Okay, valid point. Valid point. There was something that was your only covers is strategy in other planning, right? Good, right. Anybody, chief people officer or human resources manager here? Anybody in doing human resources strategy? You're not authorized to speak. You're from what are you doing? Yes, please. Share your ideas.
Might be that it's a hacker that was already in the network before and has already seen that there was an audit that was going to happen, and he actually spoofed that auditor's identity and went in on that day. So he just had some good times in the company, and then he just went away.
Yes. This is something interesting. It's very easy to happen today. Somebody can easily print an ID card and pretend to be, happens in Indian movies, but also happens in reality. And that's one of our work we do for companies. We call it physical penetration testing, when we do security assessment for organizations. We don't only test, we do security assessment on systems. We also audit processes. So some banks have, one bank had requested us to do that, and we have a project coming next where we are going to test the accuracy of the physical security at endpoints, reception, so physical security, to check those processes if they are trained enough to let just anybody in that are pretending to be somebody else. It's a valid point on our. It can be real as well. It's not just students want that these things happen. It happens also in Mauritius and in the world on a daily basis. Any more comments? That's all? Yes.
Maybe that person already has access to the network, the Wi-Fi. So he already know what's up in the network, what was going on, and what might have happened was it was a free Wi-Fi. So there was no browser needed or stuff like that. You already went on it, checked everything. That's why I think there was no more questions about it.
Anybody knows what? Anybody has an idea what is the work of an internal auditor? Anybody? Okay. The internal auditor is mandated by the management to do a sort of quality assurance to see if things are going as per the organization's policy. So the internal auditor sitting in that framework, in that project, was insulted, is the right word, by the external auditor. And it happened for a particular reason. It's related to the report he produced. And the external auditor, one of his work was to consider the report of the internal auditor. And that day, he completely ignored it. Any further comments? I'll switch on to something called strategy. Any further comments from anybody? That's it? Okay. is a strategy? You have an idea? You want to share your views on what is a strategy? Okay. In the word strategy, you have a word that is called vision. Okay. You need to have a vision, and usually strategy is used to address a situation, a problem, or we have a roadmap with an implementation and a project plan. So there's a vision and an achievement, a milestone to achieve, or several milestones to achieve. So that's what we call a strategy. So the problem told that there was a strategy going on. So cybersecurity is not only technical, it's also, you know, a consultant like us, when we charge for producing a report, our work is to evaluate the risks. So we are trusted by the board, by the CEO and the top management of the company, to provide insight on the problems and to provide solutions, at least to suggest solutions to those problems. And when we see problems like this, we cannot just close our eyes. On ne peut pas dire on ne voit pas, we are not seeing. We focus just on the easy part, on the technical part. When it's about people as well, we have to address, we have to at least to understand those situations. I'll tell you what was happening. The external auditor had an arrangement with the internal team. At least with somebody who had already negotiated to have them pass the process. And he created deviation. That's why he created deviation by at least probe people. So I know people get reactions. Started with by insulting the internal auditor, who was hoping to overreact and that would create a massive deviation. Secondly, started persecuting the human resources manager. Again, to create deviation, so all the attention will be focused on somebody else. That's the reason why he or she, the auditor, did not question the IT properly to check what are the risks, whether they are compliant with the standard or they are not. So, the aim of a strategy in cybersecurity is to address situations. So, few comments from me, last few comments from me. In such a situation, what kind of strategy would you suggest to be adopted to resolve the problem? At least when it happened or immediately after it happened, in the short term, like you say, and also in the long run, because the company has to be certified every year. Has to stay compliant. They will again have a different external auditor coming to check on the processes, on the equipment, and so on. Your comments, please. What strategy can we utilize? Can we utilize strategy in cybersecurity? At least you will become a cybersecurity strategist. Anybody? Comments, please? Nobody? Everybody thinking. The strategy means what tactics can we about? What tactics? You are fair. Questions are fair. Anybody? Anya?
Well, wearing my HR hat, obviously, for me it's already forewarning people in the company, be it through a contract or a memo or a policy, that this is our cybersecurity policy, breach of it would lead to XYZ as part of my HR strategy linked to cybersecurity. I don't know how backward this is, but it's the only thing I can think of at the moment. Voilà.
the checks, the results from the check are reported to the top management.
Right.
Yes, sir. Yes, please.
One comment. What was the arrangement for in the first place? What was the arrangement? Why did it keep strict? What was the aim of this litigation?
Okay. So, I minimize the
Yeah, don't get the level. What did it do?
Oh, wait. I minimize it. It's not necessarily happening for Mauritius, but now the arrangement that happened, they knew that several was available, and they want to come back. Okay? So they have to pass the sentence. They have to pass. Oh, just to highlight, it's coming from a very corrupt environment. What label the country? A very corrupt. So they have an arrangement, we create litigation, we make us pass, and then that's the objective.
So it's very biased in the way it's very corrupt environment. First place, when the external auditor inserted an internal auditor, if I was the HR or the boss of the company, this would have happened. I would let an external member insert my internal member. As a leader, as a CEO, as a boss, I won't let this happen. I will stop that right away. The external auditor will have time to go to the issue. Go home immediately. I don't see any leader, any company manager that will let an external team member insert his team member. This is not possible. So it will be right away in the flight, right away home. No pamplemousse, nothing.
The result was very simple. It started by taking him out incompetent and over and over. It was not, but I appreciate your comment. And that would have been a very distant solution to the problem, and maybe it would have avoided a lot of but I appreciate the comment. I work with people with this attitude in the past, and you take the right decision at the right time, it has its advantages.
You pay a guy to come down to Mauritius to do an audit, and he instructs your staff. Come on, who will let that? I don't know who's the company, who's the boss, the company, who's the HR manager, or the IT manager. This is not possible. I'm paying the guy to instruct me. Not possible. I don't know what it is.
Any further comments, please? I think we are just done now. Any one comment, and then we are done? Yes, sir? One last.
Yep, sure.
So if we start by saying that this is a corrupt environment, maybe what I'm going to say will not necessarily work. However, I would just mention that I think it all starts with governance. By governance is whenever we have a contract with external parties, we need to well define the scope. And by defining the scope, we need to involve different parties who will be involved. For example, if you have the HR being involved, so the HR needs to know the scope of the external auditor as well. Otherwise, the other persons within the company won't know whether the external party is adhering to, is getting information on the minimum information, but necessarily give all information. That's the first part. And as well to have someone to whom the consultant, the external auditor needs to report. That is to have someone to inside to I won't say supervise, but to work in cooperation that he knows or she knows what is happening, and to take any corrective action as necessary. This is what we can do.
Thank you very much. And that's the end of my expose and the case study. As I told you initially, cybersecurity is related to a lot of technicalities, and I wanted at all costs to give it a turn oriented towards people and strategy. So that's why I took this case study. So thank you again for your attention and participation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ashish. That was quite very interesting. And I think something that comes across very strongly when you talk about strategy Cybersecurity, IT, digital innovation is moving at such a fast pace, and we are called upon as heads of institutions, as consultants, as HR people, to be, maybe is it too far-fetched a term, but to be on top of the game all the time. Can that happen, or is it too utopique de dire qu'un jour on pourra harness this thing called cyber threats and empower our people actually? I mean, what are your views on this, if any of the panelists would like to comment from your experience? You're the experts.
So, the change is coming as a change in culture. Okay? The change is coming as a change in culture, and one of the very good examples is Indonesia. So, whatever initiatives they took 2 to 3 years back, in starting by educating people, and that education comes at a cost. So, they started from bottom, I would say, not from top. They also, at the roots. They grabbed the problem at the roots, and then they started educating people. At some point in time, there will be cyber security coming. The results of those efforts in cyber security coming and bearing their fruits. So it will also come as a change in culture. And it takes time. It takes time, just like a mango tree. It will take time to grow and then start giving flowers, and then the fruits will come, and then the batman will come and eat the fruits. So it takes time.
Yes. Yeah. So, as in all changing cultures, like you said, it takes time, it takes investment, it takes a lot of patience and perseverance, I believe, isn't it? Okay, shall we open the floor to comments, questions? Usually our HR cafe, people are very vibrant and talkative. So who would like maybe to ask a question or give your observations on this?
I tend to look at things in a more human angle. We've been focusing on the corporate side of cybersecurity, but we've also been talking about empowering the human being. And I'd rather think about how do I protect my home first from those attacks, from the risk that we have, before going to protecting my business. We've seen in Mauritius that cyberbullying and all such cyber crimes, and now we're talking about, let's say, bluntly, revenge porn, which are destroying families. I would not have expected you to intervene on that part because we've been in a corporate world, but I'd like everybody here to think first how you protect your home before going and investing in firewalls in your business. I've got 2 kids, and one of my main concerns is my daughter's here, and I tell her that I do not usually check what she's browsing, who she's talking to, but I think I should have. You made me realize the risk, and I would like to thank you for that, because while sitting here, I was just thinking that for every productive thing that human beings invent or try to enhance the lives, we've got a bunch of people who are being counterproductive and restricted on the other side. And we usually, on our spree of developing and showing our intelligence, we forget that those guys are as much intelligent as we are. If we haven't been able to solve problems in our usual world, like drugs, prostitution, or you name it, now we're creating another world with technology. We should not expect that we'll be tackling those negativity in this new world. We haven't sorted our prehistoric world up to now. We're building a new one. Do not expect. So you guys, your job is saving for life. We want to remove those crimes. They will keep on creating, as you keep on creating solutions for that. You've been very brilliant in choosing your career. if you're listening to me, my daughter, this is probably something you should think of. Either you be on the other side or on this side. Both, well, am I correct?
No.
I've seen the figures there. Anyway, that was my thoughts wrapping up the HR Cafe session. Is while still being CEO, I tend to be more human than anything else. So the first thing I would think while thinking cybersecurity is security of my family and my home.
Thank you.